Hey, what's up? My name's John. I'm the crypto homie.
Hi, I'm Jillian, the Bitcoin babe.
And I'm Jessica with Crypto Consciousness.
Today we have a very special guest on the show, Mr. Divi Daddy, aka Patrick. What's up, brother?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. How you doing, man?
Man, it's been a really fun day. Honestly, we got a neighborhood party going on outside and just really a fun evening. Having a baby is exhausting. I didn't sleep very much last night, but I've been watching the crypto charts all day long. So it's been good.
Yeah. What's your hot take on the market these days?
Bro, it's like the big hot take now is, hey guys, deflation sucks and our dollar's garbage and 11 to 13% inflationary currency. It's like the worst thing you can do is hold a dollar.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
So let me go ahead and Divi Daddy. So when did you first get involved in cryptocurrency?
I had my first exposure back in college. Started using like the grad school's computers to try mining a little bit. It was really fun. We had a great time doing that, but never really took anything more to it. Excuse me. So I kind of went into healthcare and lived that whole world and left in 2015. Met my wife, Caitlin, and we started a mining facility, and it's just never looked back since.
Awesome. So yeah, that's one thing that really stood out to me when we met in January at the first founders event with Bitcoin Ben and Lori. And you were showing me like photos of your mining facilities. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this looks like it takes so much to operate. And I know you've mentioned that you've been like in the process of selling them. I don't know if you want to talk about that and kind of share maybe why you're not as involved with mining anymore.
So, I've excuse me, I started as a Bitcoin miner. So for me, it's like I'm never going back. Like I love Bitcoin. I believe in its value. However, back in the day, it was just us techies and nerds and people who had a dream and who maybe had a high tolerance for risk. We were the people who were investing in Bitcoin mining, right? And I'm telling my family that I'm mining Bitcoin, and they're like, Patrick, is that why? And I'm like, yeah, mom, I'm okay. And now she's like, hey, how do you buy Bitcoin? It's like it's a huge shift. But back then it was just so hard because no one understood it. And but now where we are, it's like you want to get involved in mining now. It's hard because of so many variables, right? Electricity, getting the miners at the right price, getting the best miners available to the market. The fact that we're in the U.S. and most of the best miners come from Bitmain, and that's in China where we pay more tariffs, and it's just so complicated that the idea of making a Bitcoin and what you'd have to put into that as infrastructure and costs on miners and costs on bringing power in and leases and all the other work that you got to do just to set up a mining facility. It's like you might as well just buy the Bitcoin because
Right.
you're not big enough. At the end of the day, you don't make enough money. You're going to put $3 million in to make a few Bitcoin a month.
Well, so how much do you need to, what's like the initial investment? Because I get this question all the time. Well, how do I get into mining? Can I mine it on my MacBook? I'm like, I don't think it works like that. So what does mining consist of? And then what's at this point, because obviously mining is a competitive thing, right? You have to have the best miners, you have to have the most machines working for you. So to be competitive and to actually win that block reward these days, what does it take to, a dollar, could you put a dollar amount on what you need to get started mining?
No. And the easy reason why I can't answer that is because when you talk about mining Bitcoin, we have really two huge variables that factor in: the cost of your power and how much power you consume versus your hash rate. So how much hash power do you get per dollar that you spend per kilowatt hour?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, if you are running, let's say you have 10 of the nicest mining rigs, right? And they're the best, they're the most profitable S19 Pros. But you're running them at your house. Well, your house is about a 13 cent per kilowatt hour charge. That's too expensive. you can't compete with the miners when you talk about the infrastructure. The entire cost of mining Bitcoin is the power. It's 99% of the cost. So if you're telling me that you're mining it at 13 cents, how much more profitable am I when I'm mining it at 1 cent a kilowatt hour?
Mm-hmm.
And then what if I have $10 million to invest in miners and I'm in an economic free trade zone in the country of Georgia? It changes everything. So that's why I stepped away from mining Bitcoin, because when you have very little capital to lose and little money to float, I'm talking $800,000 a month is a power bill. $800,000 a month.
Wow.
Is a power
That's
bill.
crazy. That's so expensive.
Yeah. I'm out of mining, not because it's not profitable and you can't do it well, but I guess I just don't have big enough balls to play with the big boys anymore. Because really, you have to have a lot more money than I do. You have to have a lot more money than the people I know do to make it profitable. And to me, what I've realized are there's other structures that I can do to put my money, my capital, my assets to work for me. Bitcoin was a great leap pad for my wife and I. But right now, the world is changing. There is not that many more Bitcoin to be mined. And the reality that is that people think that we can just buy another Bitcoin tomorrow and the next day until they're done making Bitcoin. But how many miners are really going to sell their Bitcoin?
Mm-hmm.
None of us are going to sell our Bitcoin if we're mining. I still have miners operating and hosting facilities. I'll never stop mining. I always want to know what's going on. I was going to have my finger on the pulse and what's happening on the different pools and just what I like to do for fun. But at the end of the day, we know what's happening in the mining community, and there isn't many more Bitcoin to be mined, and miners aren't going to sell them to us anyways.
Yeah, they're just taking out loans against their crypto and paying their bills and getting rich, but at the end of the day, holding on to their valuable asset.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And even people like us who maybe own fractions of a Bitcoin, just like every one of us, the normal, average, everyday person, can watch a show like Litecoin Leaders and understand how to use Nexo to leverage against those assets. And it's just like when you start thinking about how the Federal Reserve works with the Treasury and how this whole fractionalized banking system is, this is what the opposite is, right? We can do it ourselves, reverse fractionalized banking. Is the crypto community. We can fund each other. And there's just so many things that are coming that you don't need to mine Bitcoin to be in crypto.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a great point. Sorry, just one sec. So I compare Bitcoin now to gold. Like it's a store of value. You don't sell it. You take out a loan against it if you want to use it for funds.
Yeah.
That was rude.
Sorry, Jess, what were you going to say?
We have something going on where we always know when the other one wants to talk and we both go for it. Like
every show.
Wait, it's rude that I compared it to...
If I give you $100,000 brick of gold and I said, hey, Jess, you can have this $100,000 brick of gold or you can have 100,000 in Bitcoin. What would you choose?
Bro, I'll take 10,000 in Bitcoin over the 100,000 in gold.
Guys, yeah, let's know what to do with it. Most of us be like,
I'm sorry, I was rude to the Bitcoin.
Okay, so do we go to a jeweler? Do we go to K's to sell this gold?
Yep.
We don't know what we're doing with gold. We don't want it. Our kids don't want it. Our grandkids don't want it. I don't want it. Gold is garbage compared to Bitcoin. I know how much Bitcoin there is and how much there's going to be and where they are all at.
Yeah.
If you know anything about gold.
So since you have been kind of an expert in mining, you have been in talks with going to El Salvador and helping them with their mining situation. But as you're talking about Bitcoin not really being able to be mined anymore, is there something you're going to be helping them with, or just helping them figure out how to mine Bitcoin?
Oh, I think you cut out, Jess.
What you're asking is, I'll actually kind of go back a little bit because I'm not saying that Bitcoin cannot be mined anymore. As a matter of fact, John, you made a statement earlier. You can mine Bitcoin on your computer, but like I said, you're going to get a certain hash power versus a certain cost of electricity that is too substantial to be able to be profitable. When you get these ASIC miners, the ASIC stands for application specific integrated circuits. So that's all they're designed to do is mine the SH256 algorithm. That SHA256 algorithm is the code basically on which we mine Bitcoin. That's all that machine does. Now there are other machines made for mining other stuff, but we're not going to go there. The reason why I'm helping out with El Salvador, and there's been a lot of talk about me and what I'm doing in El Salvador. Guys, the reality is it's pretty simple. As a mining community, there are only so many of us that sell these miners and network together. And so when we're done with the miners that we have an option of, reselling them and distributing them out to the market. When our company found out that we had in our Texas facility was shutting down, we sold our assets, and we had the opportunity to help people in El Salvador. So we sold some miners to people in El Salvador at a really good rate. And they came and visited our facility, saw what we were doing, and realized that we had scripts that they had to have. So what we're doing is really just partnering with operations that have, desires to be operating in El Salvador. And we're going to go and help them with deploying custom mining scripts, whether that's mining and understanding how to repair their miners or how to assess what's wrong with each individual miner's performance. And, there's just a lot that goes into owning and operating a mining facility, but also they liked our zero cooling design. So we're going to help them understand how to develop a system that requires zero cooling, which is more power to use on miners. So you have to spend a lot of money to bring that power in. Now, with regard to the whole volcanoes talk, I'm not an engineer. I'm not setting up these turbines that are capturing the heat. I have nothing to do with the engineering behind that, but I'm just going to be very blessed to be part of whatever they're doing down there.
That's awesome.
Very cool, man. Yeah, well, yeah, obviously when we hear about, they're going to be using a volcano to mine Bitcoin, it's like, it seems like, just we're in this new age of, any country in any world can use any kind of natural resource to harness energy and then convert that energy into the best money that's ever existed. So obviously the community is very excited about that. And, for someone who gets to be down there in any capacity and helping out with that, that's pretty awesome, man.
There's always people who have great ideas. I have a friend of mine who mines Bitcoin in his Tesla, and he puts it into a supercharger because he gets free power and mines Bitcoin in his Tesla.
I think I've heard of that. Yeah, people, they go to the Tesla charging stations and plug in an ASIC miner. Yeah,
let them do what they want because their car has internet, and you know what? To each their own. I have no problem with whatever they want to do. They're always great, funny ideas, but they're not the most efficient way, and it's not always the best use of your dollar. If you want to get into crypto, maybe mining Bitcoin, you kind of maybe miss that bus, and it's time to look at other strategies that are still profitable.
So what might be another strategy, Mr. Divi Daddy, that someone could get into if they want to start earning, I'm not going to call it passive income because the voice is going to get pissed. But
we're not going to do that.
We're not going to do that. So what other options do people have?
So let me explain to you why I got into Divi, right? If you wanted to set up a mining facility, let's just say your mining facility is going to generate 1 pentahash, and that would equal, the math is not correct anymore. We're just going to use, for example, that would generate 1 Bitcoin. To do that, I would need to get 1,000 miners. 1 miner costs $3,000. I'm not the math teacher, but I'm not going to even pretend to do the math on it. But I can tell you, I can tell you,
Jill can chime in.
A lot.
That might invest $3 million into diamond nodes. A diamond node structure, you put that in there, your money now stays in that Divi asset. And you're not going to see depreciation or money be squandered away on electricity. You're not going to see money put into transformers. You're not going to see money put into electricians or putting panels in or the copper for the wires to feed the power. You're not going to even put money into miners. You're not going to rent a building. You're not going to get insurance. You're not going to create a company. You're not going to do any of that. You're just going to put it into a coin. And because you hold those coins, you're going to make 30% plus each little node that makes afterwards. So I mean, it's like compounding interest. Why would we even play that game? So when I learned about Divi and Divi project and what it was capable of, I watched it for some time and then I tested it out myself. And I realized that there are better ways to be involved in crypto. And people think that I'm going to be Divi Daddy, and because I'm Divi Daddy, I'm going to own Divi forever. That's my plan, but I don't know what's going to happen,
That's
right?
my plan.
But right now, what Divi does for me is I take a percentage of my Divi rewards and I allocate it to Bitcoin because I believe Bitcoin is a strong investment tool. But I make more Bitcoin with Divi than I ever made mining because at the end of the day, I'm not paying all this money to electricity, and the money that I invested into my miners, which Divi doesn't mine, right? They mint. It's a protocol in how you're using a masternode structure. It's not mining, it's minting Divi. So when you're creating these Divi, you're not actually losing your value. You have the value proposition is totally different. It's like owning a house, but you don't pay taxes. You don't have to worry about tenants. Your roof will never have to break that you have to repair. I don't even understand how we can compare the difference. It's a totally different structure when you talk about the tiered masternode structure, especially with Divi. Now, I have other masternodes that I'm involved in other projects, but I'm Divi Daddy because my kids named me that, and I love Divi, so it just works. You just can't ever throw me off the Divi bandwagon these days. Between their leadership, the people that I've met, the communities that they support, and how much it's been used to help everyone around the world. I'm proud to be part of the Divi project, and I'm proud they allow me and haven't sued me for being Divi Daddy. I mean, I'm just so thankful.
Yeah, I think I met you, Patrick, when Open-Minded Bitcoin had an event in May, and you came down and there was someone who was talking about she had kids that she was helping out in Haiti and was just trying to figure out how she could take cryptocurrency to help them further. And then you got up on stage and you started talking and you're like, for one, you helped her out. You like helped her start her node and all that and donated some Divi to her. And it was a beautiful thing to watch. But I had no idea that that was even something that you could do with cryptocurrency. So that was like very eye-opening.
Yeah, man, I still get kind of like goosebumps talking about that because Derwin and his wife are amazing human beings, and their heart is just exactly who I love to be around in this community. Yeah, man, it was an honor and a privilege to be part of everything they were doing. And when you think about what you can use Divi for and the power of every community member coming together to support somebody, guys, I mean, literally, you can donate one Divi, five pennies today. And if every one of us donated one Divi, we can buy a kid a house. Like not a bike, a house. You know, it could be enough Divi to provide for a living situation for them for a long time.
Yeah.
And the idea of using these corporate structures or charitable structures like churches where people can put money in, like let's say $10,000 to help this missionary. And at the end of the year, they take that same 10,000 Divi's worth out. But that money has probably gone up in value because Divi project is going to go up in value. And then you'll say, hey, do you want your $13,000 back, or would you like to keep it to supporting people?
Right.
Wait, you mean I have to make $3,000 of profit if I take it out? No. Keep helping. It's cool. Yeah, help them out because they're happy. Everybody's happy. Everyone's supported. Together, we can do so much. The banks are making the profit, but not anymore. They better watch out. We're coming for them.
So what Open-Minded Bitcoin and his wife did is they set up a Divi node in Haiti. And is it the profits or the monthly, is it residuals that come in that's helping support the community there?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So what happened was we started out by just donating some Divi and launched a node. And then when we went to Texas, Bitcoin Ben was able to really share the project and the vision, and Derwin was able to speak with it was his wife. She's really, I mean, I know he wouldn't be mad if I said this, but like she is the brains of that operation. He loves crypto and he loves doing it, but his wife like supports him in the way that you can't believe. She's amazing. So, Bitcoin Ben shared that, and people, put more money into it and more Divi into it, more Litecoin into it. There was even someone who was there that decided to purchase the plot of land right next to them so they can expand, like full out. So yeah, that happened in one night. That was one night. And yeah, they have enough money every month coming in from rewards, every day coming in from rewards to provide food, to provide shelter. Now they don't have to cook on a coals anymore and fire. They get to cook on a propane stove. They have a roof. You know, these are things that not a lot of people have in Haiti, and these kids get it every day.
Well, this is what's so beautiful is like when a lot of times when we want to donate money, we're confused. We're like, what charity do we donate to? And we don't even trust that our money is actually getting to the people in need. So when you have people like right there on the front lines that are doing this and you know that it's helping the community, that's when people actually want to donate more because they trust it.
Oh, it was so cool. I got to FaceTime with her husband. I think her husband is Haitian and was there at the time, and his name was Pastor Sam. And, you know, just I got to see all these cute little kids sending like videos saying thank you. It's like, what more could you possibly want than to be involved with something just that beautiful?
Yeah, well, crypto's obviously harness, you know, there's a lot of people in the community that are very driven to help others, that have good hearts, and that charity is an important part of their life. And like to your point, Joe, crypto has it's given us those kinds of people a direct line to people that they want to help. And Divi has taken it a step further, in my opinion, because now instead of, okay, every once a year, you know, your people are donating, and then let's say a community in need has funds. Well, what happens when those funds run out? You know, you have to start all over again. Whereas with Divi, you know, you can donate some Divi, and then eventually when enough comes in, you can start a masternode for at least the next 9 or 10 years, you know, with the Divi code, those people are going to be getting rewards. And even after the fact, when, you know, that node's still going to be a validating node on the network. So you're still going to be getting paid out. So it's to know that your charity is now going to build a structure that's going to continue to help these people into the future. I mean, that's just, it doesn't get any better than that.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Absolutely. I know. It's amazing. So just shout out to the Divi team.
You know, you guys, it could be this simple. Do you know if each one of us put in 25,000 Divi today, we're talking like $1,000 a person. Mm-hmm. We could feed an entire family in Haiti every month forever. That's it. That's all it took
so cool.
Right here. It was just us four. And that's the idea. I'm not saying that we pressure anyone, but the idea is, guys, how many of us would volunteer for that?
I know.
There's a lot of people who, especially if you're in Divi and you see it go from a penny to $1, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'll give a couple of Divi for that. That's like,
absolutely.
No problem. It's easy, right? Yep. It's just, he who has been given much loves much, and he who has been forgiven much loves much. You know, like for me, it's just so simple. We have to do our best to love each other and be there for each other, especially for our kids. And you know, you heard Bitcoin Ben talking about the charity he wants to start with his wife, all about animals and children.
That made me tear up, man. That really got to me.
Wanted to like, okay, what's the address?
Yeah, where?
That was it. It was like, we didn't even care that he's got his own money he's going to put into it, or it's a charity he's starting. We just wanted to give to it. Mm-hmm. So that's our community. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, kind of on a different note, obviously, you know, Divi is a great way to diversify your portfolio, and sort of have that not passive income, working income. And so I know I've kind of heard rumors of the structure of the Divi's built is starting to attract more of the corporate and kind of small hedge fund eyes. Is there anything on that topic you can speak to with the background? There you go. There it is. So I've heard of Viva. So what's your involvement in Viva? Yeah. And then are they doing anything with Divi these days?
Yeah. So I was really honored and got the opportunity of being an advisor with Viva. So at this point, we started discussions quite a while ago about how we might partner together, but the proof is really in the pudding when the solution started coming together. And after that, we never looked back. Viva has, the people involved there, it's just the people that I'm talking about, the people that I have been talking about here the last, several months. I have personal clients that have tested this out with me. And then we just, Viva was a way to make what I was doing and take this idea of helping others and making it bigger, right? Institutional grade solutions, custody solutions, and dollar for dollar insurance, guys. Like, we're not talking about if you have a Bitcoin, you may get 10% of a Bitcoin back. We're talking about dollar for dollar insurance. That's kind of a solution that you don't want to start even trying to understand, guys. You got to start understanding the insurance when your node goes from Divi being 2 pennies to Divi being $1. A diamond note owner is holding $10 million on their phone. Do we hold $10 million anywhere like that?
So let's go back just a little bit, because I want to talk about what Viva is. Is it a custody? Is it something that people can get involved with now? Like, why does the insurance part matter? What are we doing with the money here?
So Viva has a lot of different product lines that it offers, right? So they have built partnerships with custodial grade solutions like Zero Cap and Fireblocks, where we're talking about, this is institutional grade solutions, right? This is multi-signature wallet verification, where they have the keys, they have the coins, and it's insured. So there's no more calling Patrick at Pro Bitcoin Solutions to try to recover lost funds. You know what happens if they lose their funds? You're insured, dollar for dollar. And when you start talking about people who are not just everyday, Bitcoin lovers, right? People who love the tech or people who believe in crypto, when you're talking about spending money from your 401k or from your IRA, and you're talking about $500,000 purchases, we with Viva are working to build solutions that allow the clients the power to purchase these cryptos at, we're talking negligible fees, right? 0.5%. We don't make the money on selling crypto. We don't make the money on giving you commission for crypto. That's why we're not charging 3% or 3.5% or 5%. Viva charges whatever Zero Cap charges for the fee as the solution. So it depends on the product that you're getting, but at the end of the day, you could choose to go with someone like Caleb and Brown because they serve a certain consumer. Viva is not the solution for everyone, nor are their products, especially some of the portfolios that they're offering. They're really more of an invite-only opportunity. There's a limited space, and it really is for people who we are in relationships with, who have been clients of ours or who know us for a while. That's really the opportunity there. And that's probably the Divi portfolio that you're hearing about, that you were asking about earlier.
Yeah, obviously, the avid crypto user is private custody is really important to that person. It's really important to me. And what I always preach it, I think the sort of the ideology behind it is the biggest shift in, finance that we've had in the last 100 years, being able to, like you're talking about, you don't need gold anymore. You don't need banks anymore. You can hold $1 billion on your phone. But for people who don't feel quite as comfortable doing that yet, and that's totally fine. This transition is going to take a long time. That's where something like Viva comes in, and they can help manage your assets like that. Is that kind of what they're involved with? So if someone is interested in maybe reaching out to Viva, how can they do so, since it's sort of an invite-only type of situation?
Well, there are certain products that are available to everybody already. So, for example, you can take your Bitcoin and earn interest on your Bitcoin. If you buy through an over-the-counter solution that is just a custodian, they're not actually giving you any services. They're just holding on to your money and using it as purchasing power for other product lines. You're not making anything if you hold your Theta there, or you hold your Divi there, or you hold your Bitcoin there. But if you're with Viva, you have these solutions that are available to you, even if you're just holding crypto and you're just insuring it, and that's all you're doing is leaving it in an insured account. That is a solution. If you want to put your Bitcoin to work and loan out your Bitcoin and earn interest on your Bitcoin, that's a solution for you too. So there are many different solutions that are going to come out and are still coming out in the marketplace. And the only difference between Viva and most other companies is we're doing it first. And we've already got the partners, we've got the solutions, and they're bringing in people like myself and Litecoin Leader and Papa Joe to the equation so that we can all learn how to take what we know in the crypto community and bring the best product available in an institutional grade capacity. Like I said, with Fireblocks technology backing our custody solutions, with their encryption, with their security. You've got people like ZeroCap who are helping us understand what are the better portfolios to be involved with. There's DeFi portfolios that are available. There's Divi only portfolios that are, options, and probably will be more available later as the project grows. We have a very cool altcoin placement portfolio that we've been working with again, and that whole project has been a completely other side of what we're doing, because some people want to get involved in other coins, but they don't know how to buy theta and they don't know how to store theta, but they know they want to own theta because theta is going to be huge, or whatever they heard from whatever project, or maybe it's Divi, maybe it's Cardano, maybe it's Litecoin, maybe it's Bitcoin, maybe it's Ether. So it doesn't really matter what our clients need. We're offering solutions that are really more of like a custom concierge service to helping them. And it really is a one-stop shop for all your crypto needs, including how to take your IRA and turn that into buying Bitcoin, and how to hold that in a tax beneficial structure. So a lot of that stuff is more over my head. I don't speak to all of it very well because it's just not my area of expertise. But when it comes to the Divi section of the projects and the portfolios that we're involved in, I guarantee I'm involved, and I'm giving you guys my best.
I think this is just such a great bridge, like bridging the gap, because there's such a huge learning curve. There's so many people that have lost money, like their crypto, because of tech and maybe not properly securing it. And honestly, there's going to be the vast majority of people will not want to have that kind of responsibility on their hands, especially when they're so used to using a bank. So I feel like this is such a great transition for a majority of the people that will be getting into crypto, because that is the solution to what we're seeing happen right now with inflation and printing a bunch of money and not being backed by anything.
Yeah. I mean, guys, like it's very conventional to what we're already doing. Think about it like this. If you had $100, you might have that in your wallet. Maybe you'd even keep an extra $5,000 or $10,000 cash at home just in case. But if you're a millionaire, do you think they're keeping it under their mattress? Why do they keep it in a bank account? Because it can't be taken, and if it is, it's insured. So these are the things that you want to think about. You can still have your own crypto, own your own crypto. You can pull profits out or move things around how you want. It's still your crypto, even when you go with Viva. It's not like when you go with Viva, they don't have my crypto. Viva doesn't have my crypto, right? The custodian that they're working with is the person that's developing the solutions on the back end to completely and securely store your crypto and insure it, right? So it doesn't, it's like, I don't remember the Tommy Boy quote where he's like, you can guarantee, Pete's poo or something like that, right? Like, you can guarantee anything you want, but the guarantee is only as good as anything else. Just like the crypto tax freedom lawyer guy, like he's not a lawyer, guys. If his business goes out of business tomorrow, there's no guarantee, right? So at the end of the day, the only guarantee you can count on is something that's going to be there to back you up. And when you count on Fireblocks, when you count on ZeroCap, when you count on solutions that are reputable, that have proven the test of, Fireblocks has settled more dollars than Coinbase.
Wow.
So you're bringing institutional grade solutions to the people who have started and dabbled and like gotten their start. Like for example, if you go and you are watching Bitcoin Ben and you're starting in crypto, you all of a sudden start buying from Caleb and Brown, you've got all this money, and all of a sudden, if you do what Bitcoin Ben's telling you to do, you're going to be a millionaire very, very soon. Right? And you're going to be sitting there looking at your laptop going, oh my gosh. Hey, honey, never mind. Talk about it. It's gonna happen. And if you're doing and you're listening and you're actually understanding the power of crypto, decentralized finance, earning money in your masternode structures, and not actually losing the value when you put into the infrastructure like Divi as opposed to mining Bitcoin, it's just gonna take off. You guys, Brooke, what's his name? Brock Pierce. He was talking today, and he said, I saw a video he was releasing, and he said there's going to be most of the world's billionaires are going to be because of crypto when Bitcoin hits $100,000.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
billionaires are going to be in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So when you start talking about the influence that money and has in that, and that the crypto community will bring just to our communities alone. If you own some crypto and your neighbor needs a mower, you can fund their mower together and they win and you win.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who doesn't win? The banks. So we're okay with that.
Oh.
That, right? It's not going to hurt our feelings. And we get to help our neighbor. It's a win-win-win solution.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so it seems kind of like within your team and like what everything Viva is doing, it seems pretty safe. I know you have like done a lot of work with like helping people recover their lost crypto or like stolen crypto or like hacks and stuff. There was something with Theta recently. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about that. You're right. There are a lot of places you can go, and I don't feel Viva is pretty safe. Viva is my secure solution for my family. So it's not just what I feel, it's what I'm using. So at the end of the day, I know Viva's safe because I know the tech behind it. I know the institutional grade solutions, and like I said, the insurance. But when we talk about these other, projects, there are a lot of hacks that are going around. We have been blessed to be part of recovering some of these lost coins through a company of ours called Pro Bitcoin Solutions, and my partner Tim Brown. He really is the genius behind it all. He sets up all the protocols. He sets up all of our back end tech scripts that we're running, make sure that we have a project plan to work to recover everything that we're working on for that client. But at the end of the day, every single client that comes to us for recovering crypto, it's just a very different story. And we were just very lucky when it comes to Theta. We got to beat these group of Russian hackers, and it was really a fun experience. And my daughter beat them twice.
That's amazing.
Your daughter? What happened?
Abigail just has these lucky fingers. The way we set it up is we have several devices working to recover, and she just happened to be lucky twice. I don't know how. We don't understand it, but we have compensated her for her assistance.
That's amazing.
That's what we requested.
Yeah, that was such a cool story, man. The first time I think I met you was at this most recent Bitcoin event in July. And first thing you did when you found out who I was is, let's go get some whiskey, man. Come on, first thing. And then within that first hour, people were asking you about that. And I was just going, what, man? That is just such a cool story. And yeah, very fortunate that you were able to recover those funds. But obviously, it's not as easy as people might think, when a lot of times when these when coins get hacked or if you send it to the wrong address, obviously you can't recover those. But a lot of times you can't get this stuff back. And that is where, custody entities such as Viva, but you're talking about how Viva doesn't hold your own keys. So you can hold your own keys with Viva?
So with Viva, there's custodial solutions, right? So institutional grade custody solutions where even Viva doesn't have your keys. So you can't call Viva up and say, hey, can you send me a Bitcoin? Because they don't have your keys. It has a process that we go through to verify that you are the holder of these funds and that you are requesting to move these funds from point A to point B. And then, so it's a whole nother topic altogether when it comes to custodial solutions. And if I had anything that I'd want anyone to hear today is please hear me out, guys. Do not share your keys. Please don't share your words. It's not funny. It's sad. It's really, really sad. I say it all the time, but just yesterday alone, $600,000 of crypto, I couldn't help.
Yeah.
Guys, just don't do it. If you have a question, reach out to Crypto Homie. Reach out to Jillian. Reach out to Jess. It doesn't matter who you reach out to us. Any one of us can point you in the right direction. But do not get on Telegram and pretend like you're going to solve this $200,000 problem yourself. Don't take the risk. Just call one of us. Please don't ever put in your private words. Those private words are for emergencies only. Really, emergencies only. Even for Divi. Do not use those words to migrate your wallets from one desktop to another. That's not the best way to do it. Look for the right solutions. Don't trust what you hear out there. Trust the people that you know have a reputation for helping you. That's the best way to not get scammed. It will cost you a little bit of money, sure, depending on who you talk to, but it won't cost you your entire account.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that's great advice, and we agree. This is what this channel is all about. We want to help as many people as possible keep their assets safe and take advantage of this transition that's going on. So, Patrick, thank you so much for coming on the show, brother. A lot of great information, and we'd love to have you back on sometime.
Man, thank you guys for having me. And John, I just want to let you know how beautiful you look tonight.
I know.
I was like, wait, my name's Jillian.
No, I meant John. I like his facial hair. It's just,
this guy was hitting on me again. The first thing he did was bought me whiskey, and then he was hitting on me the rest of the night. So
you remember that bottle? That was a bottle of Taylor's, and
I remember
he introduced us, and I love that bottle. I'm still looking for it.
That was some of the.
I definitely saw you slap his butt.
It happened.
Yes, that was with his consent, and he asked.
And then I think I did it back, so I think it was a good situation.
I'm married, guys, I'm married. Where are we going with this?
Yeah.
I'm a Divi Daddy who has children and is happily married. So at the end of the day, everyone respect one another and keep your secrets to yourself and your keys to yourself.
What happens in Texas stays in Texas.
Yep. Yep. Well, amen to that, brother. And again, thanks so much for coming on the show. And I think we're going to call it a wrap. But everyone out there watching, take it easy. And I'll see you guys later.
Bye. Thank you.